is Steve Young. You're listening to
We gotta
Talking
hit this
Sports
one
with
right
Randy Harris, straight from Tampa Bay.
And this is Knockout Radio coming to you live from Tan Talk Studios. Joe Marquis, man, you are a walking billboard for like the integrity of structures because you're a roofer and you're a big guy.
Yeah, he's built like a roof.
Yeah, you're a big guy, man, and you eat like a big guy. That's how you stay so big.
Probably.
I mean, is there a weight class in roofing? Like, I mean, UFC's capped 265.
When I was a roofer, obviously I put on size. No, I could not be a roofer now. I just own a roofing company. I'm 260 pounds. I was $185, $190, 200 pounds at best. I mean, we did a lot of commercials, so you didn't have to worry about it. But
we were talking about social media earlier and how like it's a big thing in the campaign coming up. You know, get into the younger voters. I see social media the big flex right now, Mike. Is guys are turning into the trade professions that you can make over six figures. That you're getting into plumbing, electricity,
Roofing.
electricians. Like, hey, quit being rappers, quit being all these other things. Like, we need tradesmen. And so, Joe, where's the industry at?
Dana White said it perfectly. He says, you can't see me, people listening, but you guys can see me. You have to be this much of a savage to take what you want anymore. Any job, especially construction. When I came up, I was 18 years old in 1996, and I thought I was a millionaire too. I made $8 an hour, and I thought I was killing it. You're making easy $40 to $45 an hour now in the roofing industry.
Are you hiring?
Yeah, Mike and I are unemployed radio guys.
Next week, this is the Randy Harris Show with Randy Harris. Where's Mike and Matt and Steve?
But the problem is you guys wouldn't make it one day.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't make it one day. You wouldn't make it one day.
Dude,
One day?
We're too
One
old,
day.
man. We're too
talking
old.
to?
We're talking about old people.
We're too
if I was
old.
to go out there right now, I wouldn't make it one
Matt,
day.
he's right.
I wouldn't make it one day.
Dude, you know how hard it is, and especially at 110-degree heat on a humid day, and then it's raining for 10 minutes, and dude, it is not fun.
I was in a band called Starship, and we built this city. I would build a roof all day. Like, no, set that bitch on fire.
I use this in. Did you get that? I use this.
Sorry, Jesus.
I use this in my sales meetings all the time.
Oh boy.
Is this going to be a long story?
No. It's definitely not a long story at all. Because all I did was commercial jobs, so I always had about 15 to 20 guys. I always did big jobs. So in manipulating and trying to get felons, alcoholics, drug addicts to do the things that you want them to do.
Alcoholics are
Okay.
terrible people.
I'm just saying, and liars, felons are the best liars in the world, and they got an automatic swag about them where they know how to talk, they know how to make you try to believe them and things like that.
They got a master's degree in lying.
Listen, when I got into the corporate world and started dealing with just everyday people, it was like dealing with babies. You know, like I could literally get any one of them to do what I want when I want. I'm like, man, I just freaking sold that guy freaking mountain land in Florida.
That's right.
And literally, that's the reality of it. And then you put on the heat. Then how hot it is on the roof. You're fixing to fall off the roof. It's literally the third most dangerous job on the planet.
And then the clouds are coming, so your boss is like, get the tarp over the roof, and you're dragging a tarp up on a roof.
The heat makes everything excessive. But when I first started, I was 18. I don't remember it being hot because you're just so young. You don't none of that. You've been playing outside since you were freaking 5. You know what I mean? I didn't realize it was hot until I started getting older.
So speaking of the art of manipulation, Kamala Harris is running for president now. She's a Democrat. They saying that she's black, but she's not. She's actually Indian.
And black. She's half black and half Indian.
And my best friend is Indian, and I know from growing up with him, living with Nitin for 10 years, that he would never eat food unless he shared what he had. Like he would come home with a bag of McDonald's. He wouldn't eat unless I ate half of it, and if I said no, he would let it go cold and go to waste.
So what are you saying? You're saying
He's
Joe
not
should
your
offer you
best
some
friend.
food?
I'm just saying. Like,
You ain't getting none of my food.
what are you talking about?
No.
I mean,
Actually, you can have whatever.
So you're going to vote Republican, obviously. All right, there's one vote for Randy.
Listen, you
and
would
the
be.
Democrats.
You'd be. I'm all about universal health care. I do not. Actually, how about this? I'm not religious at all. I was fixing to say I don't believe in God, but
Whoa, hold on. We got to close the Bible.
I was fixing to say
crazy.
I believe in universal health care. The universal health care saved my mother's life. It literally did. She had diabetes. She got it roughly at the same time Obama was trying to put it together, and just by the
Grace of the God.
pre-existing conditions. Because pre-existing condition, everybody had to be treated as the same. You couldn't treat me because now I got diabetes and I need insulin every month. You can't make my insurance cost me more than I can afford. But until that was passed, my stepfather was gonna have to quit his job, or she was just gonna have to die.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it literally saved his job where he didn't have to quit his job, because if he quit his job, they'd have become poverty, and then now you can get free insurance.
Now, I remember a story it's called The Shadows, where like drugs were being smuggled over the Niagara Falls from Canada, where they have universal health care. And I told you the power of persuasion and manipulation. Mike,
Your
you want
best
some?
friend.
No, I already
Come
got
on,
some.
get
It
in
came
on
with the
this.
meal.
No, I don't.
Come on, this is some mac and cheese with love.
For those of you at home, Matt's trying to pawn off Joe's food
No.
as his own.
Just
Just like he pawns off all Steve's ideas as his own.
well, no, like Steve's great. He's the best producer in the land. We just hit 10 million views on YouTube.
Really?
So
Yeah.
It is true?
It's
It's like near 15 right now.
we have 15 million views.
You got any good stories?
Well, we're all out of
You
them.
got any-
The guy with the stories on a cruise ship. He's on Noah's Ark right
Dude,
now, floating
I
around.
was telling Randy to tell me a story. This is where it came from. On the boat, we were going scalloping. And I go, come on, Randy, you ain't got any stories? He's like, nah. And he just comes out of nowhere. He's like, you ain't got no stories, Randy? Y'all out of stories? This is the first time I literally heard him talk. I just seen him come, and we're at my brother's house, and he goes to the neighbors and goes in their backyard. He's like, where are you guys at?
Joe, I went scalloping on a commercial scallop boat in the Atlantic Ocean.
Is this a true story?
And my friend, we call him Jimmy Fish. He used to hang out in the bar we hung out at, and he was one of the great guys. James Himes, Captain James Himes, up in Jersey. His ship is called Market Price, and he goes out scalloping every day, maybe two days at a time. So he goes, hey, Mikey, you want to go on the boat? And I'm like, yeah, sure. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I brought a 6-pack of beer. I'm expecting to be going out and hanging out on the boat. No, he wanted me to work.
Yeah.
And it was
It's so much fun,
the
though, man.
hardest thing I've ever done. Talk about hot, and the boat's going. I was seasick for 2 hours. I was thrown up for 2 hours. And then the Coast Guard came up next to us. And they go, prepare to be boarded, because the Coast Guard will check. You're not allowed to have more than 600 pounds of scallops at any time during a day. So they come and check, and if you have more than 600 pounds, they will fine you. But they also check your IDs. And if you're a felon, if you're wanted for something, they'll arrest you. So they pull up, and they go, prepare to be boarded. And Jimmy goes, hey, Mikey, you got any warrants? I said, God, I hope so. I go, jail's got to be better than this.
I want the heck out of here.
But with that kind of oversight on the waters, shouldn't we have that kind of oversight in fighting?
Yes.
Before the break, we talked about Tom Aspinall using petrol to harden
But
his
that's not
knuckles.
illegal.
You talk about LASIK surgery as an advantage.
No, I'm talking about, is it cheating? Because, the pitchers before LASIK surgery was invented, they didn't have that advantage. The Tommy John surgery is fairly new. Pitchers before that didn't have that advantage. So when you look at the record books, especially baseball, I'm really talking about baseball. All these guys, you always have an asterisk. Oh, he was doped up, so put an asterisk next to Barry Bonds. Well, Babe Ruth would have been on steroids if we had him back then. I mean, come on.
I mean, Babe Ruth played his whole life with a cigar. I don't see anybody using a cigar nowadays.
The only thing I think they should change is the second they make them legal, because baseball, definitely they should be legal.
Yeah.
I like to see home runs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Move the fence in.
They should stop that right there. Okay, everybody before that stays in that record
That's
book,
right.
and everybody from there
That's
forward
right.
goes to their own record
Yes,
book.
I agree with you 100%.
Everything up to when Sammy Sosa was still black.
Holy crap.
What?
What?
That's
like,
right.
like all the records should stand up until that point. He's whiter than me.
Yep.
Have you seen Sammy Sosa? Look up a picture of current Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
He's like Michael Jackson. I don't
Yeah.
know if he bleached his skin. I don't know what he did, what treatment he did.
I haven't seen Sammy Sosa
What?
since the home run chase.
You would recognize him. If he walked in right now, you
That's
would not
right.
know. If he was delivering Uber Eats to Joe Marquis,
DoorDash, bro.
you would not recognize him.
Well, listen, how do you always go in so opposite a direction in every conversation?
It's called a range.
It's called.
It is. Listen, if this was like Sirius Satellite or something, this would be great.
Exactly.
We could totally get into some stuff, but
Well, I was going to say that earlier when you cursed and you said the B word and like, oh, can I say that? I've been doing Sirius XM for a long time, and then podcasting for a long time. So we can curse at, I had to tell Mike, you're on a Bad Lab. I'm like, hey, don't forget to terrestrial radio.
You know, satellite radio is just Howard Stern away from retiring, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're
Well,
they're
2
gone.
minutes.
His Super Agent Don Buchwald just died.
Okay, I got-
yesterday.
You got what?
Super Agent Don Buchwald. Remember Howard Stern's agent? He always talked about Super Agent Don Buchwald?
No.
Well, he died yesterday.
You tell me that doesn't look like Sammy Sosa.
Oh, my goodness.
Would you recognize that guy if he walked in here right now?
No, I would not.
Please tell me that you would recognize Sammy Sosa.
No, I would not.
Yeah, but he's retired. He's not out in the sun playing baseball every day.
He's not taking the juice.
Oh.
That's what happens when you get off the
How's that
gear.
to do with the skin color?
Juice does
though?
not change your skin.
Talking about?
Yeah, that's the advantage.
Oh, he's like the king of non sequiturs, Matt. Street Nat Matt, the king of non sequiturs. You can bring a story to a totally opposite direction at any one moment.
I'm just saying, but all the records up till when he was still black should stand for eternity because
black,
those home runs.
I'm white.
It's the Michael Jackson effect.
Right. Well, listen. Thankfully, we're coming up on a break in about 10 seconds because.
1 minute.
Oh, and 1 minute, about 90 seconds. So I'm telling you, that's how good my math is. I said 1 minute, 90 seconds.
90 seconds. A minute and a half, I mean.
Sammy would have hit 90 home runs this season if he was still in the
A
gear.
minute and a half, by the way, is how long I expected Mike Perry to last with, what's his name? Jake
But
Paul.
speaking of Tommy John surgery, we'll talk about it after the break. But now with the speed clock and how fast they're pitching, a lot more pitchers are having Tommy John surgery because of it.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going up to the University of Florida this weekend to show their coaches and athletic directors on how to prevent that by conditioning with the angular force off of the back of my
20
truck.
seconds.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back from break. That sounds like a pretty interesting topic. You are listening to KO Radio on Tan Talk.
Didn't Babe Ruth point before he
Well,
showed
we're
it?
kind of early,
When he was sick.
and we are early, baby. So what I'm going to say
Now.
is I'm